With me is Honorable Amy Ambala, Special Elect, and also a member of the ICT Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, as members of the Nairobi City County Assembly Energy and ICT Committee, we have invited you today here to shed light on the current state of revenue collection and accountability by the Nairobi County Government. Let us restate that the Sectoral Committee on Energy and ICT is established pursuant to provisions of the Nairobi City County Assembly Standing Orders. Among the committee's function is to investigate and inquire into all matters relating to the assigned departments as they may deem necessary and as may be referred to them by the County Assembly. With the modern finance functions and operations linked to ICT, we find it necessary to extend our inquiries to include systems currently being used by the Nairobi County to manage its revenue collections, reporting, and accounting. It is instructive that we found a complete lack of transparency in the entire manner in which the Nairobi City County revenue is being collected, reported, and accounted for. Imagine that now we have so many developments in Nairobi, with the developers paying as much as 2 million shillings, 3 million shillings, 15 million shillings per unit, but it cannot be receipted 3-4 months later because nobody is in control of the revenue system at the Nairobi City County Executive. These collections cannot proceed to documentation allowing the same because their payments have not been receipted. CEC Finance is helpless, and even the chief officers are helpless. The governor is helpless. The senator is helpless. The people at KRA are helpless. Even directors are not aware of what is happening. I guess this must stop. We highlight this issue at this time because the recent report by the EACC on the opacity of the Nairobi County Revenues collection system coincided with our own inquiry into the whole revenue management program. Just as EACC noted that the use of mysterious revenue collection providers is a possible avenue of loss of public funds, our internal investigations also revealed that the massive irregularity in Nairobi County revenue management revealed the massive irregularity in Nairobi County revenue management. Nairobi has a potential of 135 revenue streams. Almost half of them are not structured. In the previous financial year, Nairobi County is reported to have received 15 billion from the national government and collected just over 10 billion from the own source revenue. We believe that it is possible for Nairobi County to raise more than this figure, and we are confident that it is even capable of raising as much as 43 billion shillings per year from its own revenue sources. We are casting a deep shadow on the revenue reported because there are some major gaps in the whole program setup. Section 157(1) and 2 of the Public Finance Management Act guides on the receivers and collectors of county revenue, and it states that the county executive member of finance shall in writing designate persons to be responsible for collecting, receiving, and accounting for such government revenue as the county executive committee member for finances may specify in the letters of designation. It also states that a receiver of county government revenue is responsible to the county executive member for finance for ensuring that the revenue for which the receiver is responsible is collected or recovered and is accounted for. Unfortunately, none of the Cs for finance and ICT have even basic user rights to the service known as NRS. We don't know the identity of the owners. They also don't know the identity of the owners or operators or which contract they are operating under. They are clueless about the whereabouts of the server and which code is running on the system. We don't even know how many bank accounts are connected to the system. Even more confounding is that no valid contract exists in which the Nairobi County has appointed Nairobi Revenue System to be its principal collector. As was rightly stated by the EACC, this degree of opaqueness is in the contracting of external suppliers to manage revenue for the county is a recipe for pilferage of public funds. Being the county which contributes the largest share of national GDP at 28%, going by the recent reports by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, it is crucial for Nairobi revenue system to be properly. It's crucial for Nairobi County revenue to be properly collected, reported, and accounted for. Yet for now, it is clear from our investigation that the county is punching well below its weight in development, as there is a high degree of revenue leakage. We have noted from research across various county wards, speaking with the people working in the transport, public health, trade, environment, infrastructure sectors, and Nairobi County possibly reports only 10% of total daily collected revenue and collects than 1/3 of the possible income. Indeed, our analysis has shown that Nairobi County has the capability to run its operations without the injection of the national government, and if properly managed, can easily build a fund which can be used to lend other counties or even countries money. The current challenges facing Nairobi County residents, including loss of life due to mismanagement of our health facilities, poor road network, water and sewer infrastructure, coupled with dilapidated physical infrastructure and low quality of residential lives, are the results of a poor revenue management. It is disturbing to note that in the light of the provisions by the various acts of government, both the current and previous CEC finance in the county are not aware of the owners of the current collector and the manager of the current revenue system, popularly known as NRS. The entire finance sector and the ICT sectors do not know where the physical servers are. The CEC finance do not have the administrative rights or user rights to the current revenue collection systems. It is not clear how many bank accounts are linked to the revenue collection system. It is currently, there is no valid contract between Nairobi County and Nairobi Revenue System as the principal collector, as they emerged prior to the end of NMS term. When the Nairobi Metropolitan term expired, all functions ought to have been reversed to the county government. Yet, very suspiciously, there are concerns or subcontraction of revenue collection by KRA then to Nairobi Revenue System in an unclear and unprocedural way. There has never been a complete audit of all the revenue systems deployed in the Nairobi City County since the advent of county governments. We acknowledge that the national government has already been very steadfast in the use of technology to ease service delivery for Kenyans in line with the National Digital Master Plan and Agenda. The drive to automate government services and make them available online is commendable. Automation should not end on the revenue streams. Non-revenue functions automation is an aspect forgotten in the campaign by the President. Ladies and gentlemen, we call upon the President to initiate similar changes in devolved units, beginning with the highly strategic Nairobi City County. It is time the county operated an organization-wide ICT system known as ERP, instead of the present use of disjointed systems which do not communicate to each other. To conclude, we are patriots of this country, and we are patriots of this county and Disney. And so we have come forward with this information as a call to action because we want the best for our countrymen and women. Thank you. If you, unless you have any clarification, if you have a question, I will answer. We will answer. Yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, it has been said variously that the NRS was previously being being operated by the KRA. When we invited KRA to come and testify before the Energy and ICT Committee with the finance sector's head, including the finance CEC, KRA says they are not in control of the system now. Yeah, when some members of the executive went to look for the physical servers at a place called Manyani, they were told that is an NIS facility, that nobody can get inside there. So it is very opaque. Nobody is even aware. People at State House don't know where this system is, who is operating it. There's no contract, there's no service level agreement. Imagine the day before yesterday, Nairobi collected 12 million. 12 million shillings. And this is now the average for a week. Daily average of 10 million, 12 million, maximum 15. If they go to 17 million, that's too much. It is depressing for Nairobi, with the potential of collecting more than 200 million a day. It is collecting 10 million, 12 million. And nobody knows which contracts, even if they wanted to hide the system, which contract is this system operating under? Who is the owner? What is the agreement? Because if you have an agreement, if a system is down like it has been down for some time, if it is down, you charge the people who have provided, the provider of the system. You tell them that the service level agreement is that you have to be up 99.9% of the time. You are only up 60% of the time. You have to pay us for the revenue lost. Nobody is able to be held account, yeah, because these people are holding the county hostage. And it seems everybody's scared of them. Yeah?
Whoever they are.
Whoever they are, everybody's scared of them. You see the committee members, you're being intimidated. Even the whole assembly, how do you intimidate people, even executive? These people are helpless, but they want the revenue. Yeah? Some of the discussions we have held with the people who are claimed to be in charge of the system, they say they don't know these people. So who is the one of this system? How do you collect revenue for Nairobi without being known who you are? You see? And this is depressing. 1 year later, we cannot put our hands on who owns a system which is collected. If it was prudent, it was good, why don't they just use the simple e-citizen system? It is collecting for most government departments and county. Just plug the collection onto e-citizen. Then give Nairobi their own streams. They will be able to monitor, they'll be able to know how much is collected per day. There'll not be any downtime because the system has been robust, has been used for some time at this specialist. Now we hear, I've just talked to people at finance, I'm told that the people are mysterious. It is being operated by one guy called Benson. This Benson is faceless, and the Benson has only 2 other employees. You see? So we ask, Benson is an employee of who himself? Nobody knows. In Nairobi, nobody knows. A county managing close to 30% of the GDP. Nobody knows. It is very depressing, ladies and gentlemen.
And frustrating.
It's very frustrating. So now if you hear that the county or the county assembly does not have money, they're waiting for revenue allocation or the revenue from the treasury, where is the own source revenue? Where is own source revenue? Because own source revenue, we are collecting too much, but it's being pilfered. It's being wasted on systems which nobody has control over. Like I was telling you, the committee has really been intimidated. You remember, even the majority leader and the minority leader have gotten into this fight, and recently they say they are setting up a ad hoc committee. The faceless individuals behind this system are sabotaging the setup of this same committee, the ad hoc committee. You wonder how powerful these people are. You see, if the government of President Ruto cannot get its hold of the people, managing the revenue system of the most powerful county. Nairobi is so big, Nairobi is so big that its wealth is more than, from the KNBS statistics, I think, which was released on 9th of October, they said it's so big that almost bottom 20 cannot match up the Nairobi revenue. That is when it is collecting the least. So imagine when it's collecting the optimum levels.
Maximum.
Yeah? So I think that we need to... Yes, Alan.
Yeah. One question. I want you to answer me from where you are. If a governor runs a county government for 1 year without knowing the person or the system collecting the revenue at this level of incompetence, because we are saying only the executive are helpless. So if the governor or the executive is helpless, then I'm saying that now the Nairobi is not working, because we don't know how you can run a government where you don't know even what you're collecting and how you collect it, and even the number of streams, and that your hands are tied on a particular manner. in which you can't do anything. Have you yourself discussed this issue with the governor? What is he saying?
You know, I've discussed with people in the office of the governor over this issue on what the governor feels, and the governor himself has shown a lot of frustration over this. I don't want to talk much because some of them are in confidence, but I can tell you for a fact that even the people in the office of the governor, including the governor himself, is hostage. Is being held hostage by people who, if he stops them misusing the system, they'll accuse him of corruption. They'll accuse him of corruption, which is non-existent. And you know the government, these people, if they are so powerful, they can create any story. So people are not willing. The reason why I'm going after this issue is that it will affect our credibility. I am sitting in the Committee of Energy and ICT, and we are not able to know what is being collected, who is collecting it, and how much is collecting, and where the bank accounts collected to it. And I'm also sitting in the Public Accounts Committee. We call for a special audit of the same, and you hear the people are trying to sabotage the same. The governor is hostage. The governor is currently hostage to a group of faceless individuals. I don't know if he has met them. Maybe probably has met them. You have shown him what they can do to whoever. You see, and you saw the only governor who lasted 5. We have had, Nairobi has had five governors. The only one who lasted a full term. You know, the others came, took over temporarily, but left. You see, Governor Kananu survived because the person who was running the government was a military officer elsewhere. And the military officer left a system which is very opaque. We ask that the National Intelligence Service, the Kenya Defence Forces, get out of the running of the civilian affairs of the Nairobi City County and any other county. They should go back to the barracks. They focus on providing security to the county. If they have gotten up into the mess of revenue collection and they are trying to blackmail or hold the governor hostage, it is not going to be easy. I say this as somebody with a background on forensics of ICT. Yeah, so it is depressing to us that even the House is being intimidated not to form the ad hoc committee. Every time you try to do a committee, you see the kind of leadership wrangles being introduced. So we ask that please, ladies and gentlemen, kindly help us know who owns this system. Who owns this system? How much is it collecting per day? Who is it reporting to? Which bank account is it flashing the amount to? How many bank accounts are connected to that system? We want a system audit. We want the audit of that code. We want to know how many bank accounts, because you can develop a system, then connect 20 bank accounts or 2 bank accounts. You tell us you only have 1 bank account. We see 12 million, not 10 million. Kumbe 70 million are going to someone else's bank account. Please, that's the only thing we. This is not because we have not seen evidence that the governor is directly involved in this. We have not seen evidence that the president is directly involved in this. We have not seen evidence. We are just asking questions. Who are these faceless individuals? Please, thanks.
Robert, sorry I'm late.
We did the statement.
What was that?
So, Alan,